What's happening, y'all? JR Raymond back again, coming to you from home. I got some questions from some people. They want to know when to get around the ball. I'll pull that up here in a minute. We're going to talk about releases, when to get around the ball, when to be more forward with your rotation to get those pesky corner pins out, and all of that stuff. Plus, I'm doing a giveaway for members at the website. We'll talk about all this here in a minute. Stay tuned. All right, so I have a question here coming from Jerry Brewster. Says, serious question, when or what do you see while bowling that makes you decide to go around it more or stay straighter behind it? I have a pretty low track and struggle to stay more behind it, but I can easily get around it. I sometimes struggle with over-under walled shots. For those of you that don't know what over-under is, it's when your ball either underreacts or overreacts, and we call that the cliff is what we call it. It's their cliff. So it's like there's a ton of oil in the middle, and then the cliff just drops off, and then all of a sudden there's no oil to the outside. That's basically how we describe the cliff or the over-under type of reaction. So basically what he's saying is he probably plays that 10, 11, 12 range, which is right on the edge of the oil, where the oil starts to really dissipate to the right. And if he gets it going into the dry, it hooks up just fine. But if he misses left into the oil, because his hand is so far around it, naturally, his ball just spins through there and doesn't get through the pins, doesn't do the right thing. So to answer that question of when to get around it, but first, you know what? Let's not answer that question. I want to do the giveaway first, so that way everybody can see it that's on here. So let's do the giveaway. I'm going to share my screen here. I need to get into this over here. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to do that giveaway. So I need to go to, and this is for the members, any of the members that are members at 10pindoctors.com. If you're not a member of this website yet, come over to this website, 10pindoctors.com, and sign up. We also have a clinic. Let's talk about the clinic first. That clinic first, if I go back, you can see it right here. If you hit sign up, we've got the shoulders movement clinic. It's clinic information. So we're going to be doing this. They're usually about an hour. These are all free to members. So any member that is a member of the website, you get these types of clinics for free. I haven't done a ton of them lately. I apologize to all the members that are in here now, but I'm going to start picking them up and doing them a whole lot more often. I want to give you guys value for being a member here. But the members also are involved in giveaways that I do, between giving away bowling balls and jerseys from Bowlify, stuff like that. Any type of accessories from Creating the Difference, maybe some turbo accessories from Turbo, all of that stuff. But this clinic coming up is going to be on Thursday, the 28th. We're going to do it in the afternoon this time. We're going to do it at about 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock, I think. Shoot, I don't even remember what time we set it up for. Go look. You'll see. It'll be on here. Let me just, it says clinic information. It says the date. It's 1 hour. It doesn't tell me a time. Why doesn't it tell me a time? That's not good. All right, hold on. Let me get off of this here. We'll go back. 12:28. Yeah, it doesn't tell me a time. I think it's at 1 o'clock. I'm pretty sure we set it up for 1 o'clock. So it's either 1 o'clock or 11. It has ones in it. We'll go with that. It has ones in it. But we're doing it early afternoon. We're trying to change it up a little bit. I know people might be working during that. But for you members, these are recorded. So it will be put into the members only, where only members can see them. So you can go back and see it if you can't make it live to this clinic. And the reason I like doing these live is so that way people can be in the chat. If you can make it in the Zoom call, then you can actually ask questions live and get some questions answered right then and there. It's almost like kind of like getting a virtual clinic or virtual lesson for free, because you get the opportunity to ask questions and stuff. So anyway, so that's this Thursday coming up, a couple days from now. So now let's do the giveaway over here. We're going to do the giveaway. I've got a Bowlify jersey I'm going to give away. So here we go. Let's draw those member numbers and figure out who. So we've got 85 members. Oh, wow. We've actually been gaining some members. Good. So we've got 85 members now. Let's keep getting them. Let's get up to 100. As soon as I get to 100, I'll do an extra bonus giveaway. I'll do something like a free bowling ball or something. How about that? As soon as we get to 100. So if you haven't signed up, make sure to sign up. But here we go. I'm going to spin and draw the winner. number 29, who is Gary Smithred. So, Gary, I need you to send me an email at jr.raymond I almost said turbogrips.com, but it's jr.raymond at 10pindoctors.com, and we'll get you squared away, and you will be the winner of that drawing. So, make sure to send me that email. You should get an email anyway that says you won, I think. So it should be good. So just let me know, and then I'll send you the the code for you to use over at Bolify.com. It is $100 gift card that allows you to get a jersey or anything up to $100, multiple things up to $100 on Bolify.com. So so now we want to talk about this question right here. Let's read it again. When or do you when or what do you see while bowling that makes you decide to go around it more, stay straighter behind it? I have a pretty low track and struggle to stay more behind it, but can easily get around it sometimes. But I sometimes struggle with over under walled conditions. All right, so what I like to look for, if I'm seeing, it's difficult to kind of see. Like, you want to see your ball read earlier, and I know a lot of people are stuck on seeing their ball get down lane to the back of the pattern and then make its motion. But what we want to see is we actually want to see it start to pick up before the end of the pattern. So it starts to make its motion, and then when it gets to the end of the pattern, it makes its stronger motion. So it's like that speed up. You know, you guys always listen to my reviews, and you see my reviews where I talk about how it's like it looks like the ball is actually speeding up going through the pins, because it starts to pick up and slow down, and then it gets to the back of the pattern, and then it makes it motion. It's not obviously actually picking up or speeding up, but it looks like it. It's giving you the illusion that it's speeding up. That's kind of what you want. So you're trying to get it to read sooner, so that way it starts to use up some energy and then uses up the rest of it in the back of the pattern. So you don't want it to use all of its energy in the back of the pattern. That's where the over under comes from, because that's where then you have to hit a specific little spot down lane. Otherwise, you're in trouble because you've got all the wheel to the left and all the dry to the right. So what I'm looking for is when my ball is starting too early, generally I will try to get my hand around it. It's a tough call when you're bowling on tough stuff, when you're bowling on the tougher patterns, because there can be a time where you actually want to get your hand more behind it to delay and to smooth the reaction out and to not be reading the dry. Because what generally happens, you got to think of it like this. So if you're holding a basketball or something, then if you spin it up in the air, it's just going to keep spinning, right, until it hits the ground and it finds some friction. As soon as it hits the friction, it's going to bounce in whatever direction it's spinning. Same thing in bowling. When you spin that ball off your hand, if it's spinning sideways, if there's a lot of friction early in the front or in the middle of the lane, like somewhere in the like between the first 15 feet by the arrows and stuff, if it sees friction there, if you're spinning it sideways, it's going to see that friction and start trying to go to the left. It's going to try to bounce off that friction like a basketball. So that's when, if there's dry all the way across the lane, that's when being behind the ball is a whole lot more beneficial, because now it's not changing directions as dramatically, if that makes sense. So it's not just something like being more behind it isn't something only to use when you're playing straighter. Sometimes you have to use that when you're playing further in. Like, I had to do it this weekend. I was bowling a tournament. It got fairly dry to where we were lofting over the cap, and I just couldn't get my ball to go through the pins from lofting way over there. So I moved back right and started rolling it forward, getting it to roll more end over end. So that way I could trap it in the front part of the lane. Trap mean not throw big angles, not throw it way to the right and have it hook back. I could trap it closer to the head pin, and you get it to where it just blends that dry and doesn't overreact off the dry. And I can keep it online and get it to store just a little bit of energy for the back part of the lane. And then, I mean, yeah, you're taking room for error away that way. I had way more room for error if I just moved left and lofted it, but I couldn't get it to strike enough. So I made the decision to play the accuracy game and roll it through the dry a little bit. And it kind of paid off, kind of didn't, because I ended up getting knocked out in the round of 5 because I didn't bowl a high enough game. I needed at least 220. I bowled 205. Yeah, just a couple of areas where I just threw it bad, and a couple of areas where I just couldn't quite get the carry to go my way. But as far as rotating, generally what you're trying to do is, as you move left, you've got to make that ball make a stronger motion to the left, right? As a right-hander. So you've got to get it to make a stronger motion. So the only way to do that is to get it to be more sideways. Basically, think of and I wish I could draw for you. I wish I could draw on here. I don't have a whiteboard. Do I have a whiteboard? Hold on, I might have a whiteboard. Let me see here. Let me see what I got here. Layout. Thought I had a whiteboard. Watch party screen. No, I don't think I do. Maybe I do. I need to learn this program a little bit better. That would probably help my cause a little bit. But generally, what I'm thinking, let me see if I can just hold on a second. I'm going to I'm gonna share my screen again, but I'm gonna let me pull up a lane, bowling lane. See if I can get a good picture of kind of like, so you guys can see, and I can kind of at least give you some annotation of what I'm talking about a little bit better. Let me see. I need a better view, better angle. Trying to find, be patient, y'all. Hold on one second. Patience. All right, this might work. Let's see this here. Pull this up here. Yeah, okay, so it's got some stuff on it, but that's okay. We'll use it anyway. No, we can't use that. Dang it. I hover over. Yeah, we'll use it like this. How about that? Okay, hold on. So now let me share my screen. All right, so now we'll share screen and we'll go over here. All right, so if you look over here on this lane, so basically what I'm saying is the straighter you go, follow my hand here. The straighter you go, the longer you want it to go, and then it just makes a slight motion this way into the pocket, right? So from here, it's just this way. As you come from deeper angles, you've got to get it here. If you've got the same rotation coming this way, it's just going to finish here, right? So we want to actually get it to where we go here. So it's got to be spinning more sideways to get it to make a stronger motion, to get it to go this way, to go through the pins, right? I don't know if you all could see that very well. But essentially what I'm saying is the deeper you move, the more rotation you need to be able to unless you are trying to play tighter angles. It's all about the angles. I know I'm probably confusing some people. Maybe I'm not. But it's all about the angles. If you're playing closer to the pocket, if you're playing deeper, but your ball is closer to the pocket, you don't need as much rotation around it. If you're playing further away from the pocket and you're throwing it further right and you need it to come back farther, that's when you need more rotation. There you go. That actually makes sense. So that's why when you're further right, you need less rotation generally because that ball is getting closer to the pocket as it's gradually moving its way in. And then if you're playing like the gutter and it's getting further down lane before making motion and the break point's at like 38 feet at like 2, that you still need some good rotation because then it's got to make its motion from there. So when to use rotation is just higher rotation is when you need more motion off of the dry. When you need less motion off of the dry, you use more end over end. That's why when you get on sport patterns and you're bowling like on a short pattern, and they always say play further to the right, closer to the gutter on the short patterns because you want to be further away from the pocket. So you give your ball more time to react rather than trying to play across the lane and then back. So when you're playing further right, you use more roll, and generally you're going to use a stronger ball because you want it to use up its energy and be gradual there instead of being something that's going to boomerang. I'll talk about lane play and stuff like that maybe on a later video and whatnot, but that's kind of where we're going with this. But yeah, as far as your question goes, when to use more rotation, as you move further away from the pocket, you want more rotation. When you get closer to the pocket, you want less rotation. So, or when you get into more dry, generally you want less rotation. If you get into a less dry and you need more, and you have the over under, generally you need a stronger ball with more rotation to be able to blend out the dry and the oil, if that makes sense. So anyway, lots of babbling. Gave away a jersey. Make sure to go sign up over at 10pindoctors.com. Get signed up, get involved in the next giveaway, and maybe the next giveaway will be at 100 members, and we can do another clinic and all that stuff. So if you're not involved in the clinic already on Thursday, go sign up for that clinic. It is free to members. You can pay to be involved. I don't know how much it is, but I think it's only like $5 or something, maybe $10. I don't know. But if you want to come be involved in that clinic, you can do that as well. But just everything's over at 10pindoctors.com. Head over there. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Appreciate y'all. Oh, and Merry Christmas.